The Littleton, Colorado community will come together tomorrow to mark 25 years since the Columbine High School tragedy.
12 students and 1 teacher were killed. 20 others were wounded. It was one of the first mass shootings that people watched unfold on live television. Craig Scott was a 16-year-old sophomore at Columbine when it happened. He lost his big sister and 2 friends that day. He spoke with Today 2 days after the shooting. That's what you're seeing here, alongside the father of his friend, Isaiah Scholes.
I was praying to God to give me courage and to keep protection over us, and he told me to get out of there.
And Craig Scott joins us now. Today, he is a filmmaker and inspirational speaker. Craig, it's tough to watch that old interview. I spent Monday and Tuesday this week in the Columbine community. The students that I saw in the high school weren't even born when this shooting happened. I wonder what your emotions are as we mark 25 years.
Yeah, I've done a lot of thinking about this marker of the shooting, and it's a very meaningful. I came back into town to spend with family, friends, to do news interviews, to be able to kind of continue to get the message that I've gotten out all these years. But I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, not just from the Columbine shooting, but from a lot of the school shootings and a lot of the issues that still our teens and youth are facing today. And so I'm really proud of my community. We've done a lot of healing together. A lot of good has come out from it. That you know, when most people think about Columbine, they just are going to think about that tragic day, of course, unfolding on the news. But for me, I've been able to see kind of through that tragedy and with my faith, and feel like that God has used that in a very powerful way, especially through my sister's story, but in a lot of different ways. And so I don't see it the same way. It's not just a heavy day of sadness. We want to celebrate the life, and tomorrow, my community, we're doing a bunch of community service all together, 1,200 of us coming together. And then at the school, I'll be with other victims' families, with the principal, and we'll read off the names of the victims and spend time together. And then I just spend time with family. It's a meaningful day.
And I mean, Craig, you mentioned your sister. Tell us about your older sister, Rachel, and your 2 friends, Isaiah and Matt.
Yeah, so I was in the room where most of the shooting happened, and in under 7.5 minutes, I had 10 classmates that died around me, and then listened as my friends Matt and Isaiah were killed next to me, and escaped to learn about my sister Rachel. Rachel, she left behind 7 journals, and they have inspired millions of teenagers. She believed in looking for the good in life. She wrote things like, what is life when living without the life maker? She talked about looking for the good and beauty in other people, not being quick to judge or label others. She wrote things that are the very antidote to some of the issues that are plaguing youth in our country today, like depression. The #1 antidote to depression and suicide, which is the 2nd leading cause of death amongst teenagers, is gratitude. It's thankfulness. Syracuse University did a study in 2023 trying to look at why so much depression and what was the #1 answer, and they found it was thankfulness, having a thankful attitude and gratitude. So my sister wrote incredible things well beyond her age, and that inspired me to this day, and we've shared them with millions of teens and schools across the country.
It really is. Craig, I wanted to ask about the story that you share with others, because you referenced this. You go around and talk to other people, to other students across the country. What is the core of your message?
The core of my message is that we have a built-in value that's always there. It's not based on what other people think about us. It's not based on what we look like. It's not even based on what we do. What we do for others in this world is our value to this world, but we always have a built-in value. It ties in with my faith. We're fearfully, wonderfully made. But even if you don't have that faith, just knowing that you have always the capacity to do good, to be a part of a negative chain reaction that day in your life, or one that gives life. And so speaking into teenagers and encouraging them with this message that you have incredible built-in value is one of my main messages to kids. And I watch as they need that encouragement. They need that life spoken into them. And then the other big message that I have is dealing with influences. and choosing positive influences. The shooters at Columbine and the shooters at a lot of these school shootings disconnect themselves from other people, isolate themselves, and choose very negative influences, especially through the media, and very dark stuff on a daily basis, and it makes them deranged and have this delusion of aggrandizement of going in and being total control and showing the world their anger and hate. And so I talk to kids about what you place attention on, you give power to. So place your attention on the things that will uplift your spirit and your mind on a daily basis.
It's a powerful message. Craig Scott, thank you so much for taking time out and being with us today. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.